This is the ballroom scene, a queer counterculture born from the resilience of Black and Latino trans and queer communities. Here, walking, performing, dancing, lip syncing, and modeling happen in fierce competitions called balls, where every move looks like a pose straight out of a Vogue magazine shoot, hence the dance form voguing. But these balls didn't start as a safe space. Beginning as drag balls in the late 1800s, they were marked by racial discrimination. Black participants were frequently judged unfairly or excluded for not putting white on their faces. With the change in how race was viewed and performed, the role of the balls changed as well. Influenced by social reforms from the civil rights era, several black balls started emerging in the 1960s as spaces resisting discrimination. The movement culminated in 1968 when Crystal LaBeija and Lori LaBeija co-founded the House of LaBeija. With the House Ball in 1972, the ballroom scene transformed from temporary drag performances into permanent ballroom houses, chosen families that provided mentorship, belonging, and solidarity in a world that offered little. Today, it has spread across 30 plus countries and has also been adopted into popular TV shows like Paris is Burning and Pose.
So ballroom actually came to Hong Kong by some queer dancers and some queer people who went to Taiwan in, I think, 2015 or 2016, and they experienced this culture and they really, really enjoyed it. And they brought it back to Hong Kong and began holding balls and having lessons, and we've been building this community ever since.
In Hong Kong, this vibrant subculture is found in intimate spaces underneath a conservative environment where queer visibility is contested. In my video essay, I will talk about how spatiality, placemaking, and the complex relationship ballroom has with alcohol and controlled substances have shaped the formation of community, identity, and safe spaces within Hong Kong's vibrant queer underground. Now, what is spatiality? It is the way a space is perceived and experienced by the people in it. While it may sound a vague concept, as a social construct, it helps us understand how people give meaning and value to spaces, while as a physical attribute, its location and configuration highlights how people move, interact, or occupy spaces.
So I think ballroom to me is really just a very welcoming place where I really can express myself in ways that I think would be frowned upon outside. So like, for example, me being more dramatic, or me being like, or me having a different kind of gender expression. And I feel like these things are, things I can really let loose and, express in ballroom.
This concept uncovers how the physical and social dimensions of space shape experiences within the ballroom scene. Placemaking, however, takes us a step further from spatiality, as it is a process wherein people actively claim, transform, imbue places with cultural significance, and then turn them into vibrant, living places. Now, how does ballroom or its participants actively shape space in Hong Kong? We live in a city characterized by dense urban development and conservative social pressures, where public visibility remains limited compared to Thailand or Taiwan. To counter the queer stigma, anonymity comes to the rescue, both anonymity of the spaces as well as anonymity of the participants. First, dance studios in new territories, private bars, and community sports centers are the kinds of spaces that are shared amongst participants and their mutuals. Second, these communication networks are anonymous to the wider world, but tight-knit around these spaces due to the sense of community the practice creates. These performances and gatherings in turn temporarily reconfigure these spaces and create pockets of radical community. Through ritualized events like balls, the ballroom scene continuously remakes space as a platform for resistance and identity affirmation, thus turning hidden and marginal urban spots into vibrant spaces of cultural and political significance. Yet, hear me out, the ballroom is not a monolith. It unfolds along two connected but distinct stages, which are the main balls and the kiki balls. Main balls are a grand spectacle. We are talking high-stake competitions drawing seasoned performers from all around the world, where virtuosity and style is judged with exacting precision. These are the spaces where reputation, status, and fierce competition come together in breathtaking performances. It's the ballroom scene's mainstream heartbeat, which is saturated with energy, urgency, and the heightened social pressure that comes with such exposure. Controlled substances and alcohol helps in mediating the social experience and spatial dynamics, just the way we see it in bars, as they shape how bodies move, connect, and carve out presence within the venue. Thus, at these events, controlled substances and alcohol is more visible and woven into the social fabric as a tool for relaxing, gaining confidence, or escaping the intensity the performance demands. And when you contrast it, we have the Kiki balls, which have the sole purpose of Kiki. Emerging in early 2000s as a more informal, youth-oriented offshoot, Kiki balls are safer, more intimate spaces designed for community building, learning, and playful participation. Kiki houses act as nurturing chosen families where belonging and mentorship override competition. Here, alcohol is notably less emphasized and is rather replaced by a culture of support and resilience that aims to substitute the social replication often offered by drinking. And when it comes to Hong Kong, we have at least 8 Kiki houses that serve as a vital, nurturing community spaces for young queer people to gather safely and build trust. And this difference is not just about mood, but spatial and social strategies. On one hand, you have Kiki spaces that cultivate trust and solidarity through collective rituals, unlike main balls, which require controlled substances to manage social pressure and spatial experience. Thus, it is here in ballroom that we see a community that consciously chooses different social strategies to create different kinds of spatial experiences to achieve the same goal, that is, a safe space where they can be proudly, lovingly themselves.
So in other words, I want you to think of this space as a container. And in this container, if you were to have a main ball, you would be expected to perform. You would be expected to compete against performers from all around the world. And to ease out the stress of performance, you would probably look to consume alcohol or other controlled substances. Whereas the same container can be used to do a Kiki ball scene where you would have your house members hyping you up no matter what kind of move you make, and ultimately helping you to meet the goal of safety and a right for you to express who you are. And what I feel personally is that human geography as a discipline really helps us understand that space or place are not concepts that are static. It is something dynamic, it is relational, it is informational. It is a perspective that really empowers and understands communities like ours for whom societal definitions of space, place, and belonging have denied a right to exist.
To those unfamiliar with queer culture, this is an invitation to look beyond surface stereotypes and see how the LGBTQ+ community finds belonging through the anonymous and dynamic spatial qualities of places in Hong Kong.
My positionality as a trans woman and a person of color influences and guides my understanding and interpretation of ballroom as a space in Hong Kong. This is a space that I have recently discovered, and here I see my identity is not just seen for what it is, but it's celebrated. And in understanding this from the lens of human geography and in the making of this video, I have gained a language and the ingredients for what belonging means to me. And I hope that with this awareness, the community and the wider world can be a little more accepting towards spaces and people who need it the most, and recognize that safe spaces ultimately is not just a need, but it is something that is relational and political. Thanks a lot.
Responsible for the mutilation of this poor, innocent monkey. Her green skin is an outward manifestorium of her twisted nature. This repulsive, this wicked witch